Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast. My name is Scott, and in today's episode, I'm joined by my usual teammates. We've got karaoke superstar Ben. How are you doing?
All right, mate. Not too bad.
Unveiled a new talent there after our meet-up. Very impressed. What level of Patreon have we got to be to share the karaoke videos? Who gets to see them?
What did you sing, Ben? What's your go-to?
Mr. Brightside, The Killers.
Oh, nice.
Smashed it as well. And then we've unveiled a new ice hockey ultra, Coventry Blaze super fan Tony.
They weren't ready for me, were they? Let's go, Blaze. Let's go.
You combined with that trumpet was next level. I'm surprised you're not there now, to be honest. It's tonight, isn't it? The second game.
Lost tonight. 2-1.
And couldn't join us at the meetup, but he's assured us he'll be with us for the next one. We've got special guest with us, former Dream Team champion, COO of the Fantasy Football Hub, and host of multiple fantasy football podcasts. We've got Fergi. How you doing, mate?
I'm really good, fellas. Thanks for the intro. How's things with you?
Yeah, all good. Just about recovered.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm recovering from a cold, but I'm hoping that Wales can do the Bears on Tuesday night and get into the Euros. That's my big hope for this international break after they hammered opposition last week. Excited for that.
Good stuff. Oh, look, I thought I was getting all hyped up for the Euros, sitting down ready to watch England the other night, and now I've just come away from it thinking, I'm not going to watch the next one. I'll just wait until the real thing, I think.
Yeah, I thought they looked all right, me.
Did you?
I thought they looked all right against a decent side, Brazil, aren't they? I mean, they're always decent. I don't think they're ever not decent, but yeah, probably should have come away with some. Obviously, once the changes are made, then you can see some of them players aren't or shouldn't be going to the Euros.
I was just glad Henderson weren't starting, but I want to do just quickly shout out to all of our Patreon members. So we're streaming this live on YouTube with our Patreon members. It'll be out for everyone else a bit later in the week. Breaking up the international break because it's been a little bit dull, I think. But yeah, if you want to become one of our Patreon members, there'll be a link in the description below. You get the Discord community access, exclusive articles, mini leagues, and early access to the pods like this one. Just 8 game weeks left as well. So we'll do our best to help you secure those mini leagues if you're chasing. It's come around quick, isn't it? How are you feeling about the rest of the season?
Positive.
Yeah, you're on fire. You're on fire at the minute. What about you, Fergie?
Yeah, pretty good. The game seems to have gone a bit, I wouldn't say stale, but it just seems there's so many points being scored in every game by so many players that even if a couple of your players do sort of bang, someone else has banged somewhere else, so it kind of cancels it out. But hoping that spending the time on the structure of the team and making sure that it can move forward kind of week to week and optimize each week, hoping for a big finish. It's still got Park the Bus, which I'm still kind of contemplating when to spend. But yeah, really enjoying the game and excited for the end of the season. Like we could really have like a 3-horse title race as well, which is absolutely amazing. First time in, I can't remember when. What is it? Yeah, ever in the Premier League? I don't know.
Years and years. That
long time. 3-way.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's coming down to the crunch.
It is.
What about you, Ben? 8 game weeks.
Yeah. I've not really enjoyed this season, to tell you the truth. Obviously, it's got to do with my rank, but yeah, just getting used to the new game. I think I'm getting there now. But I've had a good few game weeks, but still, just everyone seems to be smashing it. So it's hard to get up the leaderboard. Like you said, everybody, all the players that you put in are doing well, but then there's loads of other players that are doing well because there's so many ways to score points this season.
I feel like I've been in between like 400 and like 1200 for like 2/3 of the season, and then I just go up and down and up
Yeah.
and down and down.
Yeah, you two have still got that big boost, haven't you, though, with that part of the bus? I was having a little nose at your
We'll
teams
see.
earlier. That'll shoot you right
Might
up.
be playing it this week, maybe with 4 defenders. Spoiler alert, I don't know yet. Really
Yeah,
cool.
we've got a
Really?
lot of questions. We've got a lot of questions on part of the bus, so we'll move straight on to. We're going to have a little look at game week 28 because it seems like a long time ago now, and we watched quite a lot of the games while we were a few Guinnesses in. So maybe we could all do a little bit. We could do a little bit of a recap. So before we do, I just wanted to shout out Jordan Jackson as well. Obviously hooked us up with the box and done a lot of arranging for our Dream Team Tonic meetup. So shout out for him helping us out with that Coventry Blaze match.
Cheers, Jordan.
Cheers,
Cheers to
Jordan.
everyone that came along as well. Right, game week 28. So brought up the player total points for game week 28 up on the screen from ffstuff.co.uk. Strange week, wasn't it? Not many there that are amongst our teams. You probably nailed it the most, didn't you, Tony? With Cole Palmer, you went Palmer captain, didn't you?
Yeah. No, just on what Ben and Fergie were saying about you have a player that smashed it and then somebody else. It just seems that you're having to nail the captains more than ever at the minute. That's been the most important thing, especially if Haaland has a thinker. So yeah, that Palmer. It was nice to watch Palmer in the pub. Not when he's giving penalties away though. With Raheem Sterling to take. That's not what you want, is it?
I couldn't believe
You see his free kick?
Yeah. Right over the
Jeez.
crossbar.
Well, the crossbar was like the
Conversion.
stadium, wasn't
Conversion,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
it? Proper Rosetta, that was, wasn't it?
Been watching Six Nations.
That were
Yeah.
after he'd missed the penalty as well, weren't it?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Get him off. Get him off
Yeah.
the set pieces. Get him off the pitch.
I think he's only ever scored like. I remember him scoring one really good free kick, like right in the top corner, and I think he may have scored like 1 or 2 more over the years. But his conversion rate, I mean, his conversion on hitting the target must be really bad. I mean, of all the players, I just don't understand. I'm sure he scored one good one, but other than that, why did they give it to him? He must just bang him in training, maybe.
Like
even
Ronaldo,
when he was scoring a lot of goals for City, a lot of them were just across the box tap-ins, weren't they, at the back post?
Exactly.
Yeah. Not many inspiring ones on this list, really, for me. Obviously, Salah's down there with 9 points, but any real standouts for the week for you guys that you might now be considering, or?
No, Palmer did his job.
Yeah.
Although
Which
he
is
I
did-
like McAllister. He's been doing really well. He's got 77 points over the last 7 game weeks, and he's got 3 bonus points there as well.
Yeah, that put him when it's second. I'd looked at last 6 game weeks, and that put him he put him second for points over the last 6. Yeah, he's been impressive, actually.
Yeah.
He's had a
Died
few
for that
penalties,
penalty the
hasn't
other
he?
week, didn't he?
What's that, Tony?
I said he died for that penalty the other week, didn't he? Didn't get it.
we won't go on down that route again. 1K ownership. Any big jumps there, really? Obviously, Cole Palmer took a bit of a jump last week up to 73%, but I don't think there's too much out of the ordinary there either.
No.
Salah's
No,
bounced
nothing.
up to 82.9. I'm assuming it was a bit quieter last week because he won in the team, was he? He must have had a bit of a jump, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he was on. So I'll quickly go to most transferred in, but 47%.
Yeah.
Transferred in top 1K. So yeah, big jump on Salah. You got Salah, Fergie, already?
I brought him and Palmer in this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look at like Palmer's just, even when he doesn't score or assist, he's just scores so many points. And I know they've got a double this week with Burnley at home, haven't they, as well? So I brought him in for a good fixture last week, and I really found him to do well this week as well. He's such a good player in this format, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
And Salah, again, he's just. I thought I'd get him in early, just because I want to focus my transfers elsewhere, and he's one you're definitely going to want to bring in this week or next week anyway, aren't you? So.
Yeah, Ben, are you the only one, Ben, without Salah at the moment?
I've got Salah.
You got him in last week, did you?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
bring Palmer in, but because I wanted to get to 4 defenders this week so that I didn't have any problem next week doing part of the bus, because every time I leave it and say, I'll do the 2 defender transfers on the game week, someone gets injured in my defence. So I thought if I get 4 at the back, so I brought Porro in, thought I'll get 4 at the back, and then it would save me a transfer next week. And then I've got a spare one in case if there's an injury, or say Trent comes back and Bradley gets dropped or something like that. Porro got me 0 points this week. He got smashed by Fulham after beating Villa 4-0 the week before.
Unbelievable.
Well, Fergie, you're just the guy to ask, really, because we've got three Spurs players there in the top 5 transferred in: Porro, Son, Maddison. Should the people be worried for the game at 29? It still looks pretty good.
I think it's 5 of 29. I suppose I'm quite surprised that they're so popular. Obviously home to lose away to West Ham is a really good week this week, but then they haven't got any doubles, and they've actually got a massive blank. They don't play at all in game week 32, so it just feels like there's. I think for me, you can get in players who are as good, who you've got the same potential for point scoring, who are playing in all these doubles. So that's the reason why I didn't go for him. But appreciate Ben's reasoning with going for the part of the bus, I think. But yeah, Maddison and Son are really good options. They can do well this week, but after that, you're probably looking to take them out because of all the doublers. The doublers, especially Liverpool and Villa, who I think have got 2 really good double game weeks that week. So that's why I got kind of salary in advance ahead of like Son and Maddison. So
yeah, I'd almost convinced myself that I was going to get Son in. I've been saying it for the last 2 weeks that I was going to look to get Son in. And now I'm looking at 29 thinking, I could just go Darwin or keep Watkins.
This is
You've got the extra fixtures there. You haven't got to worry about taking them out again.
Yeah. Agree.
Last one I noted down was if I go back to the 1K ownership, Luis Diaz, 42%. Surprised me. And I noticed he was in your team, Fergie. You got Diaz, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had him a while. I've had him about 6 or 7 weeks, and he's done well for me. I think he's got a couple of big hauls. Obviously, when they had no forwards, he was a kind of only sort of recognised forward at one point, wasn't he? So I think I brought him in there because he was a midfielder as well. Because obviously Salah, Nunez, and all that were all forwards. So I wanted a bit of the Liverpool attack, and I brought him in. I think he got me like a 19-pointer one week, and I think he got 7. And yeah, I'm kind of happy to hold him. It's a funny one because I've been looking at who to take out this week for maybe part of the best, and I think Luis Diaz, but then home to Brighton, home to Sheffield United, the same as the defenders, is just asking for trouble, and this is the problem with the chip, isn't it? So, but I like him, and I'm fine. I'm fine holding him because Liverpool's fixtures for me over the next 3, maybe even 4 game weeks overall are probably the best of all teams. I think personally.
Yeah, I'd agree there. Captains, obviously Tony looked like he was the winner for game week 28 with that Palmer pick. Did we all go for Haaland outside of Tony?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, I went for Haaland.
Yeah,
back to back blanks basically for Haaland. So do you think either of you be looking elsewhere for 29?
It's a good shout. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. If they go out again, Arsenal. Yeah, I think it's a good shout. Liverpool, Salah maybe.
Yeah, Salah's looks a good option against quite a leaky Brighton than Sheffield United.
I think Palmer again, to be fair, as well. 2 home games.
2 home games.
Yeah.
Burnley United. We've got a question later to rank our top 3, haven't we? So we'll come on to that in a minute. But yeah, it was just something I'd been thinking of. You mentioned it briefly, Tony, is that it's quite congested at the minute. Is the way to get ahead to go for differential captains rather than differential players, maybe?
I think that is making a difference at the minute.
Fixtures. Obviously, this is from ffstuff.co.uk. All teams double game week and game week 29. But are there any standouts that we're targeting? Fergie, you've mentioned that you might be considering part of the bus.
Yeah, look, in terms of team targets, as I said, I think Liverpool are really, really on form. I like their fixtures. I was looking at I always look at the odds on the European fixtures as well, because I'm never really sure who's kind of the favourite. Interestingly, West Ham are 5-1 to win at Leverkusen, so they're not fancied at all there. So I'm kind of just going to ignore them that week, away to Wolves as well. Villa, I want to say they're odds-on favourite. Liverpool are massive odds-on favourite, and obviously Arsenal and Bayern and City and Madrid are kind of even money. So Liverpool and Villa are the teams I'm kind of looking at for European progress. Both their first ties are at home as well. And like I say, Liverpool's fixtures, the way they're playing, Salah's back now as well. The way their fixtures are, I just really, really like him, mainly, like to the end of the season, in all honesty. So it's just a shame for Man City that they've landed Real Madrid, because it's just so difficult. I have no idea how that tie is going to end up. And even with the defenders and stuff, you just don't know who's going to play. And Arsenal and Bayern, again, really tough fixture there. Don't really know how that is going to go as well. And I do think Arsenal's league fixtures from that Bayern game onwards are quite tough. They got Villa, they got Wolves away, Chelsea, Spurs, Bournemouth, and United. I think they're quite tough. So I think for me at the moment, Liverpool and Villa in the short to medium term are the two I'm kind of looking at the most.
Yeah, you mentioned Arsenal there. I'm looking at, as an Arsenal fan, I'm looking at that sort of 29 to 31 as that could be what dictates our whole season, really.
Yeah.
If it's a bad result against City and then a bad result in the Champions League, for example, I can maybe see the wheels falling off. But then the opposite, if we get a good result against City, it could end up going the other way. So,
do not remember that happening to Arsenal a while back, where they exited 3 competitions, more or less.
He used to be, I'm pretty sure it used to be around sort of Christmas or January time, but I feel like we've managed to drag it out a little bit further this year, potentially.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony? Any standouts?
Yeah. No, I think Fergie's covered it quite well there. Liverpool, definitely, I think you need a few of their assets, defensively and offensively. And just as you touch on with the part of the bus, the doubt it puts in your mind, where you look at fixtures, you think, oh, Liverpool, yeah, that's great. Brighton, Sheffield United, I like them fixtures, part of the bus. I'm going to have to take out Luis Diaz.
This is it.
Therein is the problem. Because if they concede a silly goal and you lose them 5 points for the clean sheet, which obviously costs you 10 points per player, and then Luis Diaz goes on and they win, he scores a hat-trick and they win 4-1, you're kicking yourself, aren't you? So it's trying to gauge which is somebody's best attacking fixtures against the defensive fixtures. And for me, I'd possibly say Liverpool's best defensive fixtures are probably 32. Everton, I think it'd just be possibly a 0-0 or a 1-0 Liverpool. That Brighton are quite good going forward. It's tricky. I'm glad I don't have the chip. I'm glad I don't have to think about part of the bus. I'm glad that when people are just sending the questions in, I can just give a bit of an opinion on it and not have to worry at all.
Well, I've been looking at it this week. Ben, I know Ben, well, probably more than contemplating now. I think you're kind of committed by the sound of it, Ben. So I've been looking at it, and I'm quite stubborn, and I kind of point blank refuse to take out a player who I think will have a good week. And I'm looking around my team at all the players. So Palmer isn't going anywhere. No chance in the world. Bowen has got, I think they've got Newcastle and Spurs, who are both terrible defences. So he's not going anywhere either. I've got Foden, who is probably not going anywhere because he's just such an amazing asset in the game. Haaland isn't either, and Salah's not. I've got 2 players in my kind of starting 11 who I'd be sort of willing to not play this week. And one of them is Ake, who's obviously a defender. And the other is probably Watkins. because they're home to Wolves, away to Man City. Now, obviously Watkins could do okay in those, but I don't think they're plum fixtures. So what I'm contemplating, because I kind of agree with you, Tony, is that I'm sure you feel the same, Ben, that the chip is kind of becoming a bit of a thorn in my side, to be honest, because it's when do you do it? Because I just don't want to take out these really good attackers. So what I'm contemplating this week potentially is taking out Ake, which I know it may sound mad, and Watkins, and bringing in Bradley and maybe Gomez. Gomez has played. He started every league game in kind of either left back or right back or whatever else, and just potentially playing park the bus with 4 at the back, which I know is not optimal. I get that, but I'm looking ahead now, and it kind of enables me to get quickly back out of it, so I can lose someone, go straight back. I was looking ahead now to game week 30. I'll probably want Watkins back, for example, Brentford and Lille. I can go straight back to him, and maybe I don't know, go to I haven't got Saka, for example, so I could do something like that. But it's kind of the only opportunity that I've seen throughout the season, really, where I'd be happy to lose a player or two for the chip, because just every week it's just players I just don't want to lose. There's no way I'm taking out Diaz ahead of Brighton and Sheffield United, because he could go on and score 20 points, and then I could stick in Gomez, who may not even start one, and get a clean sheet bust in the other, and then I've got to get Diaz back. So I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So yeah, that's my loose thoughts.
Obviously, I played mine a while back now, but I looked back and Salah and Haaland both outscored my part the bus defenders that week. And even Anthony Gordon got a 17-pointer for me that part of the bus week. So luckily I had kept him. But yes, it could be quite possible that one of your midfielders do outscore a defender.
And just it's looking at the fixtures, and the fact they're both league fixtures as well means they're all likely to play. Like I can't see them being. It's not like FA Cup or anything like that. So I think in all these games they'll all play their full strength teams. So yeah, what do you guys think about playing only with 4 defenders?
Go on, Ben.
I think it's...
Go on. Who's going? Tony?
No, you go. You're right, mate.
I can see where you're coming from, Fergie. Yeah, it's definitely a thorn in my side too. But I just think if you're looking at it from, like, say, a Sky perspective, it's like a 4 for 2, isn't it, over the midfielder or a striker, because you're getting double points for the double game week.
Yeah.
So you've got to try and attack it that way by getting an extra defender. And I know it's a pain in the ass, because I want Watkins for the week after, for the is it game week 30? Yeah. So I want Watkins for the game week after. So I'm going to have to sell him and bring him back, because I don't mind losing him this week because he's got Man City in one of the fixtures.
Yeah.
But it's tricky. There is another point. There is another opportunity later on in the season. You got game week 32, where there's a few more single game weeks and a few doubles. So you could lose a few single game week players there, or even a Tottenham player that's blanking if you had a Tottenham player. It wouldn't hurt so much. I mean, it wouldn't be so dodgy if you wanted to plan for that. Especially if you're only going to play it with 4, I think just push it on to game week 32 if you don't want to take out any midfielders. And there might be some single game week players you can take out there.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. My only big issue with game week 32 is I think Trent might be back by then, and trying to squeeze him in would be quite tough. I don't know how much he is. I'm assuming he's still quite expensive, but at the moment Bradley's probably nailed, isn't he? And he's so good in this game, Bradley. And it's FA Cup as well. So I'm guessing actually, because it's the semi-finals, they'll all play their big guns. But I'm not entirely sure. I just don't. Again, I don't like the thought of facing these next 3 game weeks, trying to set up for a park the bus when there's just so many points on offer around the whole game. There's just points everywhere, isn't there? Everywhere you look, it's like 10, 15 points is across the board. So
Yeah, I missed out on 11 points for Palmer this week because I was going to do Palmer, but then I thought, like I said before, I needed a defender so I didn't get stuck with not being able to use my part of the bus again. So, but in the long run, it might pay off next week by doing that Porro move.
Let's just hope Palmer don't bang a bracelet against Burnley as well, mate.
It's like planning wise, obviously, if you play the 4 and go that way, like you say, it gives you the quick escape back out of the part of the bus. And say, for example, you do have 5. I don't think it happened to me early in the season, but it could have happened to some people where you drop to a 5 at the back, play your part of the bus, and you get a couple of injuries. Maybe a striker goes out injured, midfielder goes out injured, and your 2 transfers for the week after for the game week 30, you're stuck with another 5 at the back, and you're down to 5 attacking assets again for the second week running, especially with the doubles coming up with the Champions League and stuff. So it wouldn't be the worst thing. I think at this stage of the season, it's not probably the worst idea to plan for your escape back out of it with a 4. But as Ben, it's obviously to maximise the chip, you've got to play 5, go for the 4 for 2s. But if you don't want to hold on to that chip and you'd rather play the 4, it's a sensible option as well.
The thing is, my 5th player, if I did that, would be Ake, who, 1, I don't know if he's going to play, and 2, they got Arsenal and Villa, both who I fancy to score against Man City anyway.
Yeah, so, makes sense.
I don't know. I'll be contemplating it all week anyway. Like, obviously, we'll get more injury news, won't we, on different things and clues. So it may be if Bowen gets a knock, for example, it makes it easy. It makes a decision for me. But at the moment, I find it hard to take out any of those players just because the fixtures are so good, and I know I'm going to want them back, and they could, or they likely will outscore the defender in this game week anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I've been holding this chip just to try and get the perfect game week to do it, and it's just not fell for me. Like, and obviously Trent being injured, Trippier's injured now. Like they were in my plans to come in for the double game week somewhere, but I wish I just used it to start the season and got rid of it. What do you think, Fergie?
I think so. Yeah, I think that there's like. At the moment, a lot of teams have double game weeks nearly every week, don't they? Whereas at that period at the start, most teams had single game weeks.
Yeah.
And there was some huge holes, wasn't there? Wasn't there like a Trent corner for a Van Dijk header or something ridiculous like that in one of those?
Yeah. That saved my part.
Crazy points, crazy points on offer. So looking back in hindsight, maybe I wish I'd used it earlier, but I probably should have. But then it's easy to say that because I've no idea how my team would have turned out, because it's the butterfly effect then of my team would have been different. So it's hard to say, really.
Yeah, I think it's the playing FPL as well. You used to holding your chips for the end of the season, double game weeks, and I think that's played into my mind, keeping it this year. But I think you're probably better off using it at the start of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, you might be right.
For next season, it was a new game in it, so we're all learning.
But there's just been so many goals. There haven't been there's hardly any clean sheets. Is the problem as well? It's normally, like over the years, you could rely on Man City, bank of clean sheets, Chelsea, bank of clean sheets. There's just none for anyone at the moment, is there? Really, you're almost relying on the attacking points, and and the tackle bonus, and all the other bonuses just to kind of top the points up, because Brighton will probably score against Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised if Sheffield United scored against Liverpool. You're just relying on like a Robertson 5-pointer or something like that. So
I think that's what you say, Ben, about obviously earlier in the season with the part of the bus. Obviously, you had Trippier, Trent. You had these players that are flying, Porro, and you weren't really relying on the clean sheet. You were going for the attacking returns, the big chances created, assists, goals. You're getting all that. So even if you lost the clean sheet, whereas now you're looking at bringing in the likes of, no disrespect, but like Gabriel, who scores a few a season, and people like that to try and if they don't get a clean sheet, they're not getting that much else.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll move it on because we haven't heard the last of Part the Bus for this episode. We've got listener questions coming up soon, so if we haven't covered it already, we'll go back to it. If you enjoyed it so far, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in becoming a Patreon member, there'll be a link in the description below. We've also got our beautiful merch made by our very own Tony, so there'll be a link in the description below if you'd like to support the channel with a bit of Dream Team Tonic merch. We'll definitely make you play better. Spolo Higgins, first question, 12th man options for next game week. Who wants to kick us off with the 12th man? Anyone got 12th man left, or we all used that?
I've used it.
Yeah,
I used it. Kudos the other week.
Yeah, last
you
week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't
he?
Who wants to
I'll
take
check.
the
I'll
lead for
check.
this one?
I'll check Nunes in because I don't think he's that highly owned, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go one each.
I'll go for
Keep going
Nunes.
with Nunes.
Yeah, I had Nunes first on my list, but I'll go for someone who sounds the same. Muniz of Fulham. You want to go a little bit different?
Ooh.
Sheffield United, Forest. He's been in the goals recently. Someone a little bit out there. But obviously being a 12th man, you don't have to worry about the transfers in and out. Could do all right. Decent fixtures.
Nice
and I'll say as well, because I picked them up before they played Spurs, Fulham. So it depends which Fulham turns up because they're a bloody good side. Like, you can't really take Fulham lightly. On their day, they can beat anybody, as they've shown against Spurs. And
And us as well. Done us earlier in the season. I think we lost Andrew. I think with Fulham.
Yeah.
Turnover big teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on my list as one of the differentials there. He got 7 goals in 7 games, 65 points over the last 7 game weeks.
Good shout.
Smashing it. And lovely fixtures for a minute. They've got 2 away games, but it's Sheffield United and Forest. So they could do well there. My favourite differential for this week, well, I say differential as a 12th man because I like Son. So Son's got Luton at home, West Ham away, and then obviously they go into a single game week, 2 single game weeks, and then a blank. So you can bring him in for this as a 12th man, and then he's gone from your team. Son's got an average of 10 points over his last 3 game weeks. So yeah, he's doing really well. 7.4 points average over the season, 6th best. So he's doing really well.
That's quite nice, actually, because you're all ticking ones off that I had in my list. So I'm glad I put a few there. I'm assuming people have already got Palmer and Salah. If you hadn't, then obviously they could be options. The same with Kudus or Bowen. I'd put down Son and Nunes, but one that hasn't been mentioned already. I don't think Isak is a bad option for this game week. West Ham and Everton both at home.
Good job.
On penalties, 16 goals this season. But yeah, I think I'd use it on Son if I had it. I do still like him for this week.
Throw another differential in there. Is Eze Palace.
Who's always check there. Who they got this week?
Good on the scoring matrix. They've got Notts Forest and Bournemouth.
Rejuvenated.
That's if he's not injured. He is injured and uninjured more than any player. Or him and Elise. So yeah, if he's not injured, Eze could do a bit.
We'll go on to Baz. Thoughts for game week 32, part of the bus. Obviously, we touched on it a little bit. Which teams would you go for if we were going to go for 32? Are you both still, Fergie and Ben, you two both have still got it left, but are you still leaning more towards 29 than 32 overall?
Yeah, I am. I just want to get rid of it. It's like hot potato. Just get it out of the way so I can concentrate on my team properly and attack the fixtures with the attacking players. Yeah. 3 at the back after that. For game week 32, I like the look of Man City's fixtures. They've got Chelsea in the Cup and Brighton away. Man United have got Coventry in the cup and Sheffield United at home. Arsenal have Wolves away and Chelsea at home, and Liverpool have Fulham away and Everton at home. I really like the Liverpool and the Man United fixtures, and obviously Man City tend to tighten up when it comes to this point of the season, and they'll get really hard to beat. So I think they'll come good as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Man United. Dallow is pretty good, I think, in this format.
Yeah.
Coventry and Sheffield United are really good fixtures. That's definitely one. City, you could probably have one or two from those. Liverpool ones are probably not as hot as you, Ben. I'm a big kind of home advantage sort of thing. I think Fulham will probably score. Everton will be tighter. But yeah, I'm not against it, but I think it's team dependent at the moment. My team, the way it is, I think I got the opportunity this week to use it, get in and get out, and get a decent score, and then, as Ben said, just concentrate, because otherwise, as I say, we're going to be spending the next 3 to 4 game weeks having to navigate around making sure that we have the defenders we want in place, because we obviously only get the 2 a week, right? So if you do want a Man United defender and a Man City defender, you're definitely using 2 transfers on those that week, like 100%. And I think this week, I've said it all season, I kind of stick by it, is that it's when the organic opportunity sort of rises, just get in, use it, and get out, and that's what I'm going to do this week. But I still think 32 is a good option for those where it suits their team better. Yeah.
Tony, we can have a much more relaxed answer to this one.
Oh, it's nice and easy, isn't it? Yeah, I think if you're heavy Liverpool already, the 32 is a decent option. Heavy Liverpool, and I have got +1 Arsenal, +1 United, which would be Dallow. It's one of them where if Trent's back, then that's all of a sudden Bradley's minutes on the pitch aren't as. If you got Gomez, it's things like that. So it might be better if you're heavy Liverpool at the moment to get it out of the way. But that week, if I were going for the 32, you're probably looking at the Trent news towards that and seeing that. Although United got Coventry and Sheffield United, I do think Coventry will turn United over and end up in final.
The only thing with that as well, I mean, I'd put down United, Liverpool, Arsenal, maybe City against Chelsea, Brighton. If I had to do it, I'd do Dalot, Maguire if he's still getting games, because they on and off keep getting defenders back. The big plus is Trent back, Virgil and Gabriel probably for me. But the thing I would say on United is that they could go extra time, couldn't they? They could, if it's a FA Cup, and then if they do play the 120 minutes, you might not fancy them for the second game.
Yeah,
I know it's a big if, but I think if I've got the Liverpool players in now, I'd just get it out of the way now. I think overall, we've got a bit of a. It wouldn't be Baz if it wasn't a non-serious question thrown into the mix. Very topical at the minute. Would you like to see Sam Smith at the Euros with a Jerry Halliwell style Union Jack dress on?
Oh,
who wants to go
Jesus
first on this
Christ. Well, Sam Smith, I've tried getting him banned on my Echo, Echo Dot. Making me feel sick, Baz.
Any input, Fergie?
No, not really. I'm going to abstain if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's
a question.
Understandable. Ben, anything to add?
No.
My thoughts is that I think it'd be a playful interpretation of the dress, and I think it would unite and inspire the nation. I think so.
Tell you what, Baz, why don't you drop a picture of you in a Jerry Halliwell style Union Jack
I'd rather
dress?
that.
I was just about to say, I'd like to see Ben with a Jerry Halliwell style Union Jack. The Euros. I'd definitely tune in for that. But...
Might get on the karaoke again for it.
Exactly. Do a bit of Spice Girls.
Spice up our lives.
Exactly.
Right, moving swiftly on. CCFC Jack 96. What looks like the best option for Park the Bus? I think we've covered it, mate. Game week 29 or gamble on 32. Yeah, I think we've just about covered it. 30 or 31 don't really appeal to me. So have we covered that really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers for the question, though, mate.
I think Liverpool's fixtures in 31 are pretty decent. They'd probably have. They've got Palace and Atlanta away. They're home to Palace, which should be decent. So I'd add that in. Actually, Man City have got. Oh well, they're home to Luton and home to Real Madrid. But yeah, I think I actually prefer 31 to 32 personally. Again, it's just that home game to Palace. I think that's kind of a banker of one. Whereas I'm not sure on the ones in 32.
I guess with 31 as well, you don't know what's happened in the first leg. That can always have a little bit.
There's all sorts of question marks.
Good show.
Yeah. I had my eye on 31 before the draw because I knew that there was going to be double game weeks there for the European teams. But yeah, because I like the Luton and I like the Palace fixtures for Man City and Liverpool. But yeah, like you say, the second leg could be all over by then. There might be rotation. So yeah, it's dodgy.
Again, Park the Bus. We'll have to check if we've sort of covered this. But Charlie wants to get his Park the Bus out of the way. Not the only one. He's already got Gabriel, Virgil van Dijk, and Bradley, and he'll take out one of Kudus or Bowen and Watkins. Yeah, similar scenario to you two lads. But I think if I was Gabriel, Virgil van Dijk, and Bradley, I'd be tempted to play. What would you do?
Yeah, I would go out of those. Watkins. I'm not sure on Kudus. Is he flagged, Kudus? I'm sure I saw a flag on him earlier.
I think it was a shoulder injury, I think they were saying.
Oh, okay. Like I say, the only problem with West Ham players is they're playing two of the worst defenders at the moment in Newcastle and Tottenham. But yeah, I suppose with Kudus's ownership being very low, even if he does go off, it's not the end of the universe then, is it? Yeah, I'd do it. I think if I was him, especially with the Arsenal in there as well. They probably do well against Luton, I'm guessing.
Yeah, West Ham done all right against Newcastle and Spurs. I think they beat you guys earlier in the season, didn't they? I think West Ham, I think, beat Spurs earlier in the season, and they drew with Newcastle. Could be an all right.
They had that little mad run, didn't they? West Ham beating a few teams, top teams.
I can see both those games there being like a fair few goals in both those games, the Newcastle and the Spurs game.
Yeah, I'd do it, Charlie.
Yeah, jump on the bus. I'm getting on the bus. Jump on with me.
I mean, it's hard to tell who's injured and who's not at the minute, isn't it? With all these City and Arsenal players just being flagged for whatever reason.
Yeah, fake injuries.
Injuries. Gabriel's flagged. De Bruyne flagged. Who else is flagged now? Yeah, Haaland.
Saka.
Yeah.
We've got Graham up next. I thought this was an interesting one. So, do you think you can make the top 21? Tony, you're the nearest as it stands. How are you feeling about this one?
I'm 41 points behind. So, 8 game weeks, quite a few doubles in there, lots of games to be played. I can make 41 points up, yeah. But I'm going to have to play a bit different. I have to go a little bit different each time. I've got away with it. My 12th man give me a nice little boost. Followed that with the avoiding Haaland captain last time out, going Palmer. That paid off nicely. I have to keep doing something a little bit different. Or do I just chuck it on Haaland and hope that everybody above me is trying something a little bit different? You just don't know, do you? So I'm just going to play my game and hopefully, I can land in the top 21. I'll be happy. Get with 49 last year. Any improvement on that would be nice.
How many points did you say you're off? Off the
41,
21st?
41 points.
Yeah, so I'm 92 points off. And I looked, and that would be like 12. I need to outscore them by about 12 points a week for the rest of the season. So I'd say it feels unlikely for me with no boosters left. But like you'd need big differentials, I think, and some good luck. Are you leaning towards more differential picks, or maybe going a bit more out there with your captain picks to claw it?
A bit of both. I mean, I'd like to have kudos in my team now. I know I say that I was saying this last week, but obviously they've had a tricky draw, aren't they, in Europe, which is a little bit off-putting. Yeah, I mean, I'd just be exploring both options. I think Haaland's got a tricky week this week. Arsenal and Villa. So if there's ever a week, if you're looking at Haaland versus Arsenal, Villa, Salah versus Brighton, Sheffield United, are we going to see that chart a lot more in the favour of Salah this week? I don't know. Possibly. So do I keep it on Haaland?
Is it you next after us, Fergie?
Yes.
In terms of positions?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I was in a position a couple of months back. I was just inside the top 500, and like I say, I was kind of slowly climbing. But then I've kind of I've really yo-yoed. I'm like 750th at the moment. Obviously, I've got this chip to use now. Even if I get an extra 30 points off that, I don't think I'm too far behind you then, Scott.
Yeah, I was looking. I was pretty sure. I looked at it and I thought, if you get a good part of the bus, I think you'll jump me.
Yeah. So if I get a really decent one and kind of come close to, I'm probably in the same boat as you. So I don't think there's, like I say, it's just points everywhere at the moment, and it's just so hard to climb. Really is. I think I would love to finish kind of in the top 200 or so from here. I think I'd be really, really pleased with that. I think anything above that is just going to be so tough. Just because you think, oh, I've had a good week. I've scored 164 points. And I look at a couple of the people in my main leagues and they scored 179, 181, 115. You're just like, so,
yeah, there's no blanks like there used to be.
No.
Do we need to ask you, Ben?
No, I'm 200 points behind you two, approximately. So I need a good part of the bus. So yeah, I got no chance. I'm not even going to work it out.
I would say though, like, you should be excited for 29 because, I mean, I got that boost of points early on, didn't I? So I enjoyed that early on, but you will get a massive jump.
Oh,
I just made my transfers and it
not
looks
100 points. I need like 100 points to get me back in contention, but
it will be a massive jump. Like, what did you say you are, Fergie, currently?
In points, about 750th in points. So I'll look now at the actual,
leaderboard.
About 750th, I think.
Yeah, see, I'm 320, I think it is, and I was looking at your team thinking if you do the part of the bus sort of score that I did, roughly, or even a little bit less, I think you'll catch me. So that you're going to basically half your rank potentially.
We'll see. I'm looking
if it goes well.
Looking for the Robertson corner, Gomez header. That'd be nice.
Have you considered? Have you considered free defenders?
What for part of the bus? Jesus. No, I haven't. But I would say I've just made my transfers now. I got Martinez in goal, and I got Van Dijk, Robertson, Bradley, and Gomez with part of the bus on that back four. Foden, Bowen, Diaz, Palmer, Salah captain, and Haaland. And I'm very excited for this game week. I think the Salah captaincy, well, I do think a lot of managers will just kind of default on Haaland double game week at home. And, and maybe rightly so, right? It's, he could easily go and score three goals over the 2 games, couldn't he? But yeah, pretty hopeful. And then, as I say, I've also got a way out as well. So I'm quite excited now, actually, after actually making the transfers. It looks really sexy. So
Tony, are we expecting a red arrow no matter how good our game week goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. With this
say,
booster weekend.
Obviously, I think a lot of the people in the top 100 have probably already played the Park the Bus. So you could say there's quite a few people up in there that are in a little bit of a not a false position, because points on the board are always better than not having them on the board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You could have a good few thousand people play Park the Bus this week and it completely flop and they don't get many extra. And like I say, the forwards could outscore the defence and all of a sudden it could be an absolute flop. But I do expect a red arrow. I do it, but I'm wanting people as well to play the Park the Bus. Let's see where the land lies, because it's a little bit, yeah. You don't feel like get excited and think, oh, I'm up here, but actually there's a lot of people that are in catching distance of me.
Yeah.
That have to Park the Bus.
Wisby, we have a question. I think he's in the chat as well. So shout out all the guys in the chat. Quick question from Matt Woolley. Is Tony now a Coventry fan in football as well as ice hockey?
No. I was telling those Cov fans down there, I'm still upset about their goalkeeper punching the ball at the back of our net and costing Rovers a playoff place. So no, I'm definitely not a Coventry City fan, but yeah, I'm a Coventry Blaze fan.
Through and through. Tony, top three captain picks for 29 in order. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. You'd be surprised. I've got Salah first, Palmer second, Haaland third.
Fergie?
Yeah, I'm not too far off that, to be honest. Yeah, sadly, I agree with, well, not sadly, but yeah, I've got no alternative. I kind of agree with that. Salah, Palmer, Haaland, maybe Son instead of Haaland. Yeah, all good.
Oh, we're not making a template here, are we, lads? I've got the same three: Salah, Palmer, Haaland, and then I got Son fourth, Muniz 5 as a differential.
God, he's chucking 2 more in there.
Yeah, because I written them down before, and I thought I'll put them there just in case.
I've gone Salah, Haaland, then Son in third. I've gone Son ahead of Palmer, I think. But that's a unanimous for Salah as the best captain pick.
Did Son blank this week as well, didn't he? Or did he get a 3
Yeah,
or
he
4
blanked.
or something? Yeah.
I
think that helped me as well, because I think Son were an option, weren't they, this last week gone?
Yeah, Fulham away.
Fergie, do you reckon Richarlison starts and Son gets pushed back to left, or?
I'm not sure he starts. Maybe the second game. Maybe he comes on off the bench in the first game. Pushes Son left after like 70 minutes, because obviously he hasn't played for about a month now, is he, or more? And maybe starts against West Ham. But yeah, I think he's back in training, and I think that in the last press conference, Postecoglou said, something along the lines, he's back with the group. He's not quite ready for the weekend, but
I think he might have been on the bench. I think he might have been on the bench for Brazil yesterday. Can't remember.
You were knocking around, because I know you.
I definitely see him somewhere.
Anthony Gordon was giving him a cuddle. Just a big shout out. I'll tell you what, best player on pitch, Anthony Gordon, for us yesterday for England. Really, really impressed me.
He's a fabulous player.
You start the Geordies off in the Discord.
Oh, I know, get riled up, but honestly though, I mean, there's 2 players. I've had a little bit of not disrespectful, just like I've never thought much of them. I had 2 players that massively proved me wrong, and that's Aaron Ramsdale. I wonder why Arsenal ever paid the money for him, and I thought he's gone on to be absolutely brilliant. Gutted for him to lose his place in that Arsenal side. And then Gordon, I'm thinking, why have they spent that money on him? But then I tell you what, this season he's unbelievable. Unbelievable, he has, Gordon. What a player.
You're joking about Ramsdale?
No, I like Ramsdale. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think he's a quality keeper.
I just can't stand people who wind up the crowd and do all this stupid thing, wagging their tongue out. No, I'm just like, oh, grow up, you twat.
You've got Emi Martinez in your dream team.
in my dream team, and yeah, but he's not. Yeah, he's probably the king of it, to be fair. But yeah, not a fan of Ramsdale.
James McClure up next. If you could pick one player from any Premier League side to make an 11-man dream team, what would your team look like? No budget. You can use any formation that's on the game. One player from each team.
Wow.
Have you prepped
Will it
this
go
one,
first?
lads?
I've got it.
Yeah, go on. Tony first, go on.
Go on then.
Tony first. In goal, Leno at Fulham. 3 at the back, Tarkowski, Porro and Dalot. 5 in midfield, Saka, Salah, Gordon, Bowen and Palmer.
Salah's a forward.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Well, all right, and 3-4-3. That's good. That's a good shout. 3-4-3. And then up top, then Salah, Haaland, and Cunha.
Cunha.
You got your Cunha in there. He's done you well this season, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I
class.
can't wait for him to come
He's
back.
class.
I'll be very surprised if he's not signed next season. He's still at Wolves. He's brilliant.
Ben, you prepared here?
Yeah, I went Leno in goal. Trippier, Porro, Ait Nouri, who's been smashing it recently.
Yeah.
Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, Bowen, Saka, Haaland, Salah, Watkins.
You got one, Fergie?
I haven't done an 11, and I obviously largely agree with most of them. I think the Cunha shout is really good. I'd probably go for Maddison from Spurs. I think obviously he's been injured. If you remember how he played at the start of the season,
Unreal.
And I think Eze's a good shout from Palace as well. They both started the season on fire, and obviously both got injured, didn't they? But they'd be 2 I'd definitely look to squeeze into midfield, I think. And Cunha up front, class.
Olise's still hovering around the best average point scorer this season, but obviously he keeps getting injured.
Yeah.
He's been doing really well.
I'll be surprised if he's there next season.
Yeah,
I think someone's going to snap him up. I've got a full house on Leno. I've gone with Leno in goal. Trippier, Gusto, Porro as my back 3. Saka, Bowen, Bruno, and Pascal Gross, and then Salah, Haaland, Watkins.
Yeah, nice.
Interested to know whether this is just a curiosity one, or whether you've got some sort of crazy mini league going on there where you can only pick one from each.
Yeah.
An interesting game.
Don't be giving Tony another mini league idea.
Oh,
No more.
Oh, good enough.
Nah. At this rate, we'll have to do a mini league podcast separate, I think. Yeah. I know everyone else likes to hear it, but it does go on that bit.
I was in mini league a couple of years ago, Dream Team one, because we had 10 teams. Chris Martin was the chairman of the league, and he did a non-Premier League mini league, so you couldn't pick non-Euro players, so you only pick the other 13 teams that weren't in Europe. That was quite a good mini league.
Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah. Chris Martin from Mansfield. Shout out to you.
Love your music. Love your music. Andy Barnett. We hadn't had this question in a little while, so it's quite a nice one to revisit. It feels like for the first 5 game weeks of the season, we were doing this every episode, but now that most of the season has been played, could we let everyone know our opinion of the new game format, whether it's better or worse than what we thought before the season started? And do you prefer the old format to this one? Who wants to go first? Fergie, we want to hear your thoughts.
I've really enjoyed it, I suppose, is the first thing. I think early doors when we were like October, November, and there wasn't so many doubles for every team, I think it was a bit more, I wouldn't say more skillful, but there seemed to be more, I think planning was rewarded a touch more because there wasn't so many doubles for all the teams all the time. So I personally found then it was a bit, I personally think obviously, everyone's got their own opinion, but I think there's a bit more skill involved then in manipulating your transfers to optimize your team each week. Whereas what I found more recently, and again, it may just be the way that it's kind of panned out on my team, is that there's just so many players, so many options now, and everyone's scoring really well. You've got a pool of about 30 or 40 players, each of them scoring between like 5 and 15 points each every single week. And no matter what you seem to kind of do, there's not an awful lot to differentiate you from the pack. That's just my experience. I'm not saying that is how it's been. I think the point scoring is brilliant. It's so much fun. Look at you've got a clean sheet burst, or like or Palmer's blanked, but you look and Palmer's got like 9 points even though he's blanked, because you've picked him for his reasons, for his ghost points as well. The same for defenders. I think Robertson had a clean sheet burst last weekend, but he had bonus points. He had a shot on target or something as well. So you can really look and get these players based on that. So I think overall, I think it's fantastic, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I just feel at the moment, and maybe like I say, it might be my personal experience, it's just gone a bit flat, just because everyone's scoring quite similarly. And the other thing I would just add, budget wise, I think we all thought it was going to be ridiculously tough, but it's just been so easy. You can basically, I basically haven't even had to think about budget for months, and I don't think we'll have to for the rest of the season. I know injuries have had a part to play in that, but I think the fact that Edison is now 2.8 million is just absolutely criminal. It's just I think things like that are a bit silly. I think did Haaland start on 8 million? He's 7.7. He's actually gone down in price over the season. Even though he's, I don't know, wherever he is, however many points he's scored. Like Liverpool defenders, you've got like 2 or 3 on 160 odd points. Gomez is still only 3.6 million. Van Dijk's still only 4.2 million. They should have had massive rises. So I think it's been quite. And maybe that has what has made the game a touch more boring this last month, is because you can afford anyone you want. You don't have to think. You don't have to plan. Yeah. You can just say, right, this week I want X and Y. You don't even have to think about budget. So, and I know injuries have played a part in that, but I also think the pricing and the price rise and falls have played a price in that as well. I think that they could be a lot more aggressive with the, especially the rises, I think. So, but overall, fantastic game. Great to have so many points. And I wish FPL would have 2 transfers a week, because you can change your team really quickly, can't you? In 2 weeks, you can change the whole identity of your team without just going this one transfer in FPL. It's just, that's what's kind of killing the game, in my opinion. So, yeah, overall good, but room for improvement.
Maybe they should bring the penalty points in for the Dream Team. If you want to make an extra transfer, because it seems a bit like you get a bit stuck. I know everyone goes, "Oh, you got 2 transfers a week. You've got loads of transfers," but you haven't really, because you got to. If you use them 2 transfers, that's it. You can't do anything else with your team, and I don't like that. You can't save your transfers properly.
Yeah, can't roll one.
You can't roll them all. So if you roll your 2 transfers, you end up burning one. So you've only got 3 for the next game. I don't like that. I think you should be able to have 4 for the next game week at least, and then you can have like a little mini wild card.
I definitely agree with that. There's been lots of occasions this year I've only wanted to use 1, and I've ended up having to use the 2, but I would have loved to have 1 and then 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good point, Ben.
Yeah, I'd be happy to just use 1 transfer this week to prepare for my part of the bus, and then I'll have 3 for next week. But it's not the case.
Yeah.
I don't like the chips. I just want rid of them. It's just more. I don't know. I just think it's a headache. It's just I never enjoyed them in FPL, to tell the truth. So yeah, I don't really like them. I wouldn't mind getting rid of them, but I do agree. I like the new point system. It's more exciting, and there's a lot more things you can score points on, which is great. I like the more formations is good.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with the game. Just obviously it's a new game, so it took me a while to get used to the new format because I was quite comfortable with the old format. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, completely agree with you. Again, with the point scoring and obviously players scoring points, they're blanking, but they're getting they're still getting 9 pointers, 8 pointers. I think over the years of playing this game, what we've done is like some people have people that aren't so much watching football, they're picking the players that score the goals and the ones that come up. They can luckily get away with a Star Man award, and someone who's not been in the game all game scores a goal 90th minute, you get Star Man, so you're getting a 13 pointer, and you've got the player who were doing everything all game and gets nothing. You don't even get he gets a 3 points for a rating. So I think that was frustrating a lot of us, and I think the new scoring system, there is a lot of points going around, and it's great because the points for impacting games.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that benefits all of us that. I mean, I watch a lot of football. It pisses my missus off, to be fair, but I do watch a lot of football, and when it comes to this game now, I think that the people that are benefiting, the managers that are benefiting, are the ones that are watching the game, seeing the players that are involved more. What are they doing? Like Cole Palmer, the amount of shots he's having this season and things like that. I know you can just go and look at the stats system and that, but you need to see the players. The players that are impacting the games are the ones that are getting the points this season, and that is good. It's probably the most exciting point system in fantasy football, I reckon, now. I think it's overtook Sky for that with that mantle, because we've always gone on about Sky with the passing bonus and the shooting bonus and how much we enjoyed that. But I think Dream Team have absolutely nailed it with the point system this year. So fair play to him for that. But yeah, Fergie's bang right about the budget. We were kind of scared about it, especially with some of the price of the players initially. But it's been blown out of the water, and I'm sure they'll look at that. A bit of feedback on that, because I think it's a new game for them, not just for us. So hopefully next season that's tweaked a little bit with the rises and stuff and the starting prices, and try and make it more difficult for us. You want to have to, like Ben, how many times have you been sat on this podcast and you've been pulling a £1 million player out?
Yeah.
And the joy of like seeing that player score nicely for a few weeks and get you a 0.6 rise, and then all of a sudden you're upgrading somebody else, and that's part and parcel of it. So hopefully they look at that. Thoroughly enjoying it. And that's not just because I'm having a decent year as well, because I enjoyed the game last year. I just think they have made it better. And yeah, I've just maybe a beginner's luck. I've had a nice season as well, where we're all testing the game out.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't punish players for having a high value. If they have a good week, give them the price rise. Don't just go, because he's 8 million. Oh, we're not going to give him a price rise. And if he's 2 million, he's definitely going up. Just give them the rewards they deserve for the good weeks they're having, because it's just getting daft. Like you said, like Man City, Liverpool defenders are all dead cheap, and then you've got Haaland who can't go up because he's smashing it every week. He's come down in price. It's just daft. One thing I do miss though is the extra 5 points for the hat trick. I think the player that gets a hat trick merits the 5 points. I think that's quite a nice little bonus, because what was it? I can't remember what it is now, but it must be about 23 points or something. And you used to get 28 points for a hat trick.
Yeah, it was 28.
But I think you used to get 28 points or something. I think it was, anyway. Yeah,
it was.
I missed the extra 5 points for that, because you used to get 5 points a goal, and then you used to get 5 points for a hat trick as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mostly probably going to get Starman as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you added the Starman onto that. 28 was Starman.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
7 rating and 3 goals plus the hat trick bonus.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar, to be fair. I've enjoyed it more than before. Not just saying that because we spent a load of time on it, but I just liked that there were weeks previously where you just have kind of what I'd call helpless weeks, where you've used your free transfers. I can't do anything this week.
Yeah.
Or I could do something this week, but I'm worried about next week, so I'm not going to do anything. And there was just a lot of times where it felt like you weren't doing anything. Whereas this one, you always feel like you've got something you can do. If you might have three injuries in your team and you'd be in a really bad position, but at least there's something you can do. You're not just getting to the sort of 3/4 through the month and then you're stuck. That was my worst. That was the thing I hated the most about the game before. On FPL, you could take a -4 or -8 if you're really in a bad place. Sky, I know you're limited on your transfers, but you can always do something usually. The same with Telegraph. But when Dream Team, when you'd used your sort of monthly allocation, you just had to sort of just sit there and watch everyone else. I feel like at least this game, sort of this new transfers, keeps you engaged.
Definitely.
The only thing that I would fix is the role in the transfer. I think we spoke about this all together before. But yeah, if you use no transfers, just give us the extra 2 as well, so you can do 4 in one go. Maybe if you use 1 transfer, you get 3 the next week. And then a maximum of 4. I just feel like they got that wrong. But I think we mentioned that, and I'd knock boosters on the head as well. I like captain picks, but I think boosters is a bit. Don't know. I liked that one wild card.
Yeah, that wild card last year was good.
Yeah, if you could choose when you have the wild card, because we've seen with Sky with the overhaul, most people, if you give everyone the same sort of wild card or overhaul at the same time, everyone comes out with the same team. So give us the one wild card to use when you want. I think that would make it great.
What about the deadline? Do you like the new deadlines, or do you like just doing the transfers in play?
I'd keep it. I'd keep the deadline as it is. I don't really think it particularly benefits anyone. It feels fair. If you get shafted by someone dropped, everyone seems to get done by them, don't they? I feel like it's relatively consistent.
Yeah, I prefer it. Yeah, I prefer it as it is now. Just because of, with Sky and Telegraph. I mean, in Telegraph, you can do transfers in between games. There's a 15-minute gap between a game, so I've definitely got less alarms set on my phone than I've had previously. Who can forget? I remember where I was. I was in B&Q when Chelsea accidentally spilt the wrong team lineup, and they said Aspilicueta was starting, and I brought him in like 2 different games and Dream Team. Whereas if the deadline had just been and gone, I wouldn't be any the wiser. I know that's a bit of a freak occurrence, but yeah, it's just the alarms. It can, especially this time of the season with all the doubles and rearrangements, it can take up your whole weekend.
Yeah.
So
I prefer it as is, and I think everyone's on a level playing field, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Where it does your head in, isn't there? There's weekends where you're like, oh, for God's sake, this guy. But then I feel like everyone's at least in the same boat if that happens. What was you going to say, Ben?
Yeah, I was just going to say I remember being out and about and constantly like running to find signals somewhere to, they got to bring this player in at this time and that. And at least now, say 11:30, you can leave your team alone now and relax and get on with your life.
Yeah.
You can't do much about it now.
It's much better like that.
Was it quickly? Wooly was on about the amount of teams we talked about at the meetup, and he was he was on about before we had 10 teams, didn't we? And people were saying they'd prefer to have maybe 2 teams next season or 3 teams. What do you think about that?
I'm happy with 1.
I much prefer 1 personally. I kind of use my second teams in Sky and Telegraph, but I've never had any success with them because they always end up morphing into the same team, because I just feel like the best 11 you think you want. I know you can hedge. That's the whole point is hedging. I understand that, but I also think hedging is that skillful fantasy play really. Just go in for like a block Chelsea defense random, and they keep 4 clean sheets on the trot. You've kind of just lucked out, haven't you, more than anything? So I just for the one team personally.
Yeah, we were saying last week, like if you had 2 teams, you'd probably bring Son in one and Palmer in the other for that weekend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you would have edged your bets.
Yeah.
Rather than being forced to make the decision, who do you think, gun to the head, who scores more, Son or Palmer?
What about what Nathan's saying? Would you chuck a vice captain in the mix?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No harm, is there?
Good shout.
Right, I think that's through the questions. Quick whiz over the teams. Not too long though. Tony, 44 points.
Yeah.
Want to take us through?
Yeah, 44 points. Happy with that, seeing as I had Edison, Gabriel and De Bruyne all blank. So I only had 8 players for the week. Bradley 1, Van Dijk 0. Bowen 3, Foden 4. Salah 9. Nice little point all from Salah. Watkins 3. Haaland 2 points. And Captain Palmer doing the business for me. 22 points. Takes me up to 3163, which is 67th overall, I think it is.
Wow.
Nice. Doing well there. Doing very well.
Cheers.
36 for me. A very similar team to Tony. I've got Van Dijk, 0 points. I've got I held Gabriel. I was going to ask you, Tony, what are your plans with Edison?
Don't ask me what plans for Edison. What about Saka? We were there, sat there on the live stream, weren't they? So I say, yeah, make sure you're all set. And I meant to take out De Bruyne, not Saka. But Edison. So Edison, well, you know what I'm like, playing me out a keeper. It didn't cost me anything this week again. Depends. I mean, De Bruyne's not injured, is he? Gabriel's not injured. Saka's not injured. I want Saka back in. I'm not playing the game without Saka. Edison might have to stay as long as there's no other flags. Edison's probably going to get changed up, but if not, I'm not scared to go without him.
Well, I've got him. Van Dijk, Gabriel, Robertson, Saka, probably not injured. Foden, Kudus, probably not injured as well, and then Palmer. Watkins, I captained Haaland this week. Disappointing one, but I got Salah in early, so 9 points from him. I don't actually know what I want to do with this team for next week. I think it looks all right. I might end up making a goalkeeper change. I wouldn't normally be that bothered, but if I do think Edison is going to be out, I might try and move a keeper around.
Yeah.
Maybe move Watkins, but that always backfires on me. So yeah, still got another week to think about it.
Is Alisson out for a long time still? I was having a look earlier on. It looks like he's going to be out for quite a long time. Kelleher looks a really good option, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Kelleher or I'm looking at Raya. You might think it's Arsenal bias, but I think we've just been so good at the back. But yeah, those Liverpool fixtures do look good until Alisson's back.
Yeah. Do you know that Raya used to play for Rovers?
You've told us.
I heard you mention that. Ben, want to take us through?
Yeah, 30 points this week. Bradley, Robertson, and Van Dijk at the back, with Porro brought in as my starting to park the bus. Smashed it against Villa and then got a nil point against Fulham. Got battered. Bowen 3, Foden 4, Saka's in there for next week. Salah 9, Haaland captain, only 4 points, and Watkins 3. Yeah, still got Dubravka in goal. Yeah, so I'm starting to think about part of the bus. I just want to get it out of the way now. I'm just sick of it. I wish I just used it early in the season.
You see what that's done to you there, Ben? You just see it's already, because I know you wanted Palmer in.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So bringing Porro in, planning for the part of the bus has already cost you 11 points.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's so it's a frustrating chip, to be fair. I'm really glad I played it early. I think, Scott, you played it a few weeks earlier than me.
I went
even
9
after you'd
Game
played.
week 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were going, hold it, hold it, hold it.
Well, it's just become
Even
a
that-
burden, hasn't it?
Even that felt like I was holding it for ages. From the minute the new game started, that was burning a hole in my pocket. Ben, gun to your head, who are you bringing in as your fifth man? Fifth defender.
At the moment, I'm hovering on Ben White, I think. Yeah.
Ben White for Watkins.
Yeah. Tricky fixture for the first match of Arsenal, but that Luton game sort of evens it out for me, I think. I do like Gabriel as well, but obviously Gabriel's he missed the Brazil game, didn't he, through injury? So no doubt he'll be back though.
Yeah, I think
but Ben White's been smashing it. He's average. He's got 58 points over the last 7 game weeks. I do like the Gomez shout, but I'm a bit worried that Konate or Kwanzaa might come in and play in centre half in one of the games.
I think they will. I think he's either been playing. He's played left back, haven't he? I think. In the main. Yes, and I've already got Robertson, so it is a tough one. But Gomez has played in the. I was looking at this earlier. Gomez has played, apart from when he was injured in 1 game week, he has started since game week 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He started the last 8 games and played 90 in nearly all of those. So he's pretty nailed, I think, Gomez. You just don't know where he's going to play on the field across the back 4. So
utility man.
Due arrest. That's what they always say, don't they?
Yeah, and I'll probably have to use my other transfer on the goalie just to prepare for a European keeper. But like Dubravka's got a decent double game week this week, so it's tricky. But I hate burning transfers, so you might as well just prepare for the next few game weeks and bring in someone who's going to keep doubling.
Yeah, it's only going to, like you say, it's only going to go in it.
What keeper?
Probably Kelleher. But yeah, Martinez is decent as well because he plays both games. But it's got City this week, isn't he?
That double in 30 is nice, isn't it, for Martinez?
Yeah.
Fancy Raya.
Ray is decent as well, mate. He's got fixtures all the way through, and he's
tough games though. Tough games for us.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think they're tough defensive games for Arsenal. I'm not really that bothered for not having a defender over the next, until the end of the season. Really, to be honest, I think most of those games are quite tough, personally. And even if they get through against Bayern, they got the winners of City Madrid, haven't they? So
yeah.
I did fancy like Augusto or something like that, but then I've got 2 non-European defenders in there. It's got to come straight out next week, and then if I get another injury in midfield, I'm going to end up getting stuck with one of them. So that's the problem. I'm thinking I need to bring a Liverpool, Man City, Man United. It's not Man United. Liverpool, Man City, or Arsenal defender in really, and I don't think I can go an extra Liverpool defender now. I'm just a bit worried about rotation.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
48 for Fergie.
Yeah, had a decent week. Martinez, Van Dijk, Robertson. Ake didn't play, which is a shame. So not much points at the back. Foden 4, Bowen 3, Diaz 7. As they say, he's kind of just been under the radar. I'm not sure what his average points are. Just gonna have a look then. But he
got 66 points in the last game week. So I took a note of that.
His average points overall are 4.9, which is all right, but I find it hard to take him out while the fixtures are this good. He's got, he's banged in.
What's his last 3 games?
Last 3 is quite low. It's 3.7, but he didn't play in the Europa.
Yeah.
So he's got 7 and 4, but just before that, he got a 10-pointer in the Europa. 14-point against Luton, 12-point against Burnley, 11-point against Chelsea. He kind of scattered. He'll have like kind of 10-3 sort of scores. So at the moment, I'm quite happy to hold him for a while. I've lost my team now. So Diaz, and then Palmer. I brought in Palmer last week. He's just a beast in this game, and and then Salah and Haaland and Watkins. So just what you said then, Ben, it has been playing my mind a touch. I don't really like it's that Liverpool defensive rotation. I think Bradley probably plays twice.
Hopefully.
But the Gomez Robertson thing is a real pain. I've got Robertson and Ake. I'm not sure Robertson starts both. He just hasn't been.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing it. Just having a look at his last few games. He came back from injury, 21 minutes, 32. Then he played 89. He played one and was benched one in a double game. Then he played 60. Then he played 29. He was on the bench. So it's like it's not very. It's not great.
Yeah.
And I got Ake, who you don't know if he's going to play or not. He does play. They got Arsenal and Villa. So I like your Gusto shout this week. He'd be like an in and outer, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Porro, I've not been that fussed on Porro ever since Madison's been back, because I had Porro when he was like on beast mode and he was amazing. But as soon as Madison came back, you could see his points just dried right up. I'm not that bothered for him. So yeah, I suppose at the moment my early thoughts, I've just made my transfers to have a look. I brought in Bradley and Gomez, but I'm going to be mulling this over all week. I think, like I say, hopefully some kind of injury or some kind of something will force my hand a bit, and make it obvious on kind of who to go for. I like it when it falls like that. So, but yeah, 746th place at the moment. If I play the part of the best, hoping to, I'm not sure I'd halve my rank, but maybe kind of the top sort of 400 to 500 and then go on from there. So we'll see.
Just looking at that, Tony, is it safe to say that both Ben, Fergie, you're probably looking to get Watkins as the make weight out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, in and out, I think. That's right, out and in.
Yeah.
So Tony, are you going to hold Watkins and hope that he does well? I'm just trying to think, how do we counter these guys?
I mean, I want Saka, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Wolves at home, big derby, going to be a tight affair, I would guess. City away, he is the obvious mate way, isn't he? Yeah, for me, I think just by having 7 forward players against the part of the buses, that's just the way. That's the risk that part of the buses are taking by dropping to defenders, and we just have them extra couple, don't we? Extra couple of strikers, captain one of them, and one of them bangs.
I was thinking about moving out Watkins to maybe try and go for Darwin Núñez for the
I reckon that's a good move.
Double Liverpool fixtures, or even Son. But when you see everyone that might be playing a booster is taking Watkins out, you think, well, maybe I've got a differential there. But I guess it's a differential either way.
Yeah. I mean, so I can't see a De Bruyne in there. So there's no De Bruyne. Fergie, you've not got Saka.
I know. I hate not having him. He's really hurt me in the last few weeks because because he's had a couple of single game weeks every now and then. I took him out and he has hurt me. I think it'd be okay in the Man City game, but that Luton game could be painful. But again, who'd you take out? I don't know who I'd take out. It just seems madness to take out someone because all the players have got really good fixes this week. The only ones is Watkins. Yeah. So, and don't forget, you pair, about blocking us. You've got your bonus points. You've already had them. You two have. Wait. Let us have our bonus. For God's sake.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
We're going to the.
We'll go on to the league. So, Tonic Cash League, top 3. Got G Payne, Anthony Sutcliffe, and S Pal, top 3. Tony, want to take the second chance?
Yep, top 3 in the second chance is S. Powell up there again, Tom Gledhill and Baz McCormack.
And then tag team, you got that there, Fergie? Is that on the screen for you?
It is, yeah. Oh, give me the long one. Where we go? Sorry, is it the
top three.
or-
Top three.
Top
Yeah,
three.
yeah, top three.
Third is Louis Wright and Matthew Kent. Second, Sean Powell and Hugh John. And top, Barry McCormack and Ben Coles.
Have you seen down there in 8th?
We are,
Yeah.
but neither of us have used our part of the bus yet.
Yeah.
McNulty and Fergie are coming up there, creeping up.
Yeah, I've got a question on this. So, obviously, you're teammates, but you're also sort of rivals on your pod, aren't you?
Oh, massive rivals. I'm not his teammate at all.
So, so you're not. I was looking at this thinking, are you
There's
two
only
like?
7 points between you.
Well, I was 50 up until like last week, and Paul, I don't know how he's absolutely smashed this last week or two. Let me just have a look. I tell you what he did. He used his max cap on something, on someone, and it was like a real random one. Hang on, I'll try and find it now. Who did he bring in? I can't find. He only scored 44 this week. It must have been the previous. I can't look back his previous week. He used his max cap on someone. It might. I think someone scored a hat trick or something ridiculous like that. Hang on, I'll find it now. Kudus, 48 points.
Oh,
Yeah.
48 points max cap, and he had Sufal 10.
is that the week
Salah,
that you
20.
12th manned him then, Tony? That must have been.
Yeah,
that
it
week,
was.
wasn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
He scored 142 points that week,
yeah.
and I'm trying to look where I scored that week. It wasn't anything like that. He scored 142, and I scored 88. Oh yeah,
So not quite teammates. I was looking at that. You both got your part of the
no,
bus left.
no,
I was
no.
thinking, are they both gonna just be activating that at the same time? So first, you reckon he's gonna pull the trigger on it?
I think I spoke with him briefly last week, and he was talking about potentially using a four man one as well. So I don't know really. I don't really chat to him. For those who don't listen,
Don't like him.
Nip, I don't like him. Nip and a half podcast. If you in all 4 games, we chat every week about it. But what he does sometimes, he'll text me like half his plans and then do something completely different. So, he winds me the fuck up. Let me tell you.
I enjoy listening to that one.
No, he's a very good player in all formats. And yeah, if we both use part of the bus, say we both get 60 points each off that. 30 points each off that. What will that take us up to? Like top 5 maybe.
Top 3. You'd be hitting in the money in there.
Oh, happy days. Let's hope we bang then.
Tune in to Nip and a Half, find out how that one goes.
Yeah, exactly.
They might be friends this week.
We'll see.
Ben, do you want to do Patreon Cash League?
Yep. Baz McCormack in 3rd, Lee Giles 2nd, and Anthony Sutcliffe, our very own, top.
Come on.
Fixed.
Let me win some.
Tonic League 1, we've got G Payne in 3rd, M Warner in 2nd, and L Giles up in 1st.
In the championship. Yep, top 3, Connor Story, Aaron Wade in 2nd, and me top of the shop.
And I'll take the prem.
Right
just because I've got something. I've just got something to add, and it's not to read out myself in 3rd, but I dug Ben Coles out in 2nd. I dug him out last week, saying that he dropped off because he didn't captain Haaland, did he, that week where he scored 5? And I said, blimey, he's dropped off a bit. Well, he's bounced right back with a 62 pointer this week, and he's jumped above me and took 2nd. So apologies, Ben. Up in 2nd, and then Baz McCormack smashing it up in 1st.
And they're tag team partners as well, aren't they?
Yeah, laughing, aren't they, up the top? But that's it. That's our lot, lads.
Happy days.
Good to be back.
Yeah, we're a bit rough last Monday. There was no podding last Monday, was there?
international break sorted us right out, didn't it? Really, there.
To be fair, it did. It did. But yeah, looking to get another planned soon. Enjoyed it. Obviously, different location. Obviously, that's London, Newcastle, Bristol, Manchester, wherever.
I mean, I'm always going to be on board with London from where I'm from, but to all those requesting London, I just took a trip to Coventry and paid £2.99 for a Guinness. So
£2.99.
You're
Yeah.
you're not getting that this
Wow.
way. You are not getting that this way. We're talking probably £6.99 for a Guinness this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd pay the extra petrol money and go Coventry. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good do. Really enjoyable. Nice to meet a few of the community and stuff. And yeah,
Yeah, I got a good video of Tony and Scott going down a slide in a play park.
Brilliant.
I would think where the bloody hell was that play park? Was that in the town centre or something?
That was on the way back to the hotel, I think.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's AI generated. Wasn't me. Cheers, Fergie, for joining us. It's been
Yeah,
good.
thank you guys. Really
Cheers,
enjoyed
mate.
as usual. Thank you so much. You've
I missed.
I still don't know what I'm doing. Am I part of the bus or not now? I haven't got a clue. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
back
thank you.
free. Back free, I think. All the best.
Back 3 days.
Tony, Ben, it's been good.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah.
See
Until
you on next one.
on the next one,
Oh.
yeah.
Deadline stream. Last minute. Catch us on the deadline stream before the next game week. I think it's at Newcastle. What's the first
let
kickoff?
me-
That one. Newcastle.
Half 11 deadline.
Yeah, we'll be hosting the deadline stream. So head over to the Dream Team Tonic page.
Newcastle,
Notch the
West
bell.
Ham.
Yeah, there'll
is
be
the,
some leaks for that one.
half 12 kickoff.
And then these
Yeah,
two
I'll
will
have a
be
cup of tea for that one.
these two will be scrambling to get Trippier in last minute against all of their plans.
Oh, yeah, that'd
Right.
be a good one, wouldn't it?
Oh, if he's started, he's definitely in the old part of the bus.
Yeah.
West
Right,
Ham,
well, we'll
Everton.
see you then.
Yeah. See you later.
Cheers now.
Cheers, everyone.